Hello there. Welcome to 321 exams. For some time now, we've been looking at oral English. Today, I want to pay particular attention to stress. Stress is a very important aspect of oral English that, again, questions often come out from that aspect. And I know that this aspect too is a little bit problematic to so many students. So please pay attention so that within the next 30 minutes, I would have done what I need to do to enable you to understand that aspect better. Stress. Very important aspect of English. Stress. Now, let me begin by saying that in every pronunciation, there is what we call stress. Ordinarily, when you say a friend or your colleague is giving you stress, it means that it's trying to give you what you call tough time in quote. It is making life difficult for you. Okay? But in pronunciation, stress does not mean that sound has to be made difficult. No. What it simply means is that there is a place within the flow of sound that your voice has to rise. Sometimes it drops, sometimes it rises, sometimes it drops. Okay, the point at which it rises is what we are now trying to refer to as stress. Okay, every language, including English language, has what we call stress pattern. There's a rhythm that is in every sound. Okay, even our local languages. Okay, take for example, look at this local word in a language called Yoruba. Now, this is Dami Lola. Okay, this is a Yoruba word. Okay, Dami Lola. Now, this particular word here is not pronounced Dami Lola. Neither is it pronounced Dami Lola. Rather, it's pronounced Dami Lola. There's a rising, falling of the voice. Okay, so it is this rising and falling in a sound that we want to look at here today under what we call what? Stress. Okay, that is for local language. For every word in English, the stress is there. Okay, look at this word for example. Okay, this is environment. Now, you don't say environment. Okay, it is not dull like that. There is a rising, falling of sound. It is that aspect I want to look at in under stress. Now, there is a way this appears for you in exam. Okay, in your exams, this is written for you like this in 4 ways. Sometimes you see it like this. Look at the various ways that they appear for you in exam. You can see the 4 ways here. Okay, in your exam, they ask you, where is the primary stress in the word environment? Okay, the examiner expects you to know where your voice rises. In a single word, only one place will your voice rise, called primary stress. For this word environment, your voice rises somewhere. Okay, environment. So if you look at it here, this seems to be where your voice rises, the second one here. This is the way the questions appear for you in your exam. Okay, for what? Stress. Okay, but there's something that you need to know about the way to identify where the primary stress can be located. It's just like saying, if you don't know how to get the answer, you know how to eliminate those ones that may not be the answer so that you can arrive at the one that is the answer. Okay, so that's what I want to show you here now. In looking at what to call the primary stress, if you have problem trying to identify the primary stress, there is a clue to enable you know how to arrive at the primary stress. Is that clear? I want to show you now. In showing you that clue, let me tell you what we call prefixes and what suffixes. Okay, prefixes and what suffixes. In English, we have what we call affixation in English language. This affixation has 2 major types, or if you like, say 3. We have what we call prefix, and then you have what we call suffixes. Okay, then in between, you have what we call the what? Root or base. Now, no matter how lengthy a word might look like, it has a prefix, it has suffixes, and then maybe just a root. All right. No matter how lengthy a word looks like, okay, it comprises basically prefix, root, and what? Suffixes. If it's so long, that means it has plenty prefixes or plenty what? Suffixes, but one root or base. Okay. In English language, you're looking at the sound of English language. What you call stress are never found in prefixes and what? Suffixes. Okay. Look at this word, for example, as an example. This seems so long, okay? Disestablishmentarianism. This word is so long that you think it has all the alphabets, okay? But it's long because it has several prefixes and several what? Suffixes, okay? If you remove the prefix and remove the word suffixes, you are left with only the root. That is where your primary stress is always located. So if you're looking for what to call primary stress in any word given to you in your exam, eliminate the prefix, eliminate the word suffix, come back to the word root. That is where the primary stress is located. Okay? That's why I brought out prefix and what? Suffix. Prefix include words like un, for example, this. Okay, for example, if you have something like, okay, this word is unimportant. What it simply means is that this un here, okay, is a prefix. It cannot receive the stress. That is why when you hear somebody pronouncing that word unimportant, it is wrong. Because un there, the u and n there can never be stressed. So it remains unimportant. Let's assume it has this addition to ly, becomes unimportantly. What it simply means is that this li and ant here, okay, this and this can never be stressed. Likewise, this can never be stressed. So your stress is located in somewhere here. Okay, that is your root. Okay, if you look at another one like this pre, if you like, say this word, this is preconceived. This one here can never be stressed. Okay, this one here too can never be stressed because this is suffix. Okay, your stress is somewhere here. Okay, now if you look at the suffixes as well, if you have something like this, okay, you know that ion is a suffix. It comes at the end. You can never receive any stress on that suffix. That is why you can never say this is the complete correct answer. It can never be. Because ion is a suffix, just like al is a suffix. Okay? Just like ism is a suffix in English. So all those suffixes that come at the end of any word, they do not receive the primary stress. Likewise, all the prefixes that will come before the base, they can never be stressed. You look for your primary stress in the root or the base of the word. You understand? Your primary stress is on the root, not on the prefix and not on the suffix. So if you see any word given to you, try to find out if that word has a prefix and suffix. If it does, remove them. Remove each of them and be left with the base. Within the base, that is where your stress can be located. Okay? There are some words, okay, that ordinarily they do not need to be divided for any reason. Okay? Look at this word, for example. This word is such that you cannot divide it into two. In other words, it doesn't have prefix, it doesn't have what? Suffix. So it remains based on its own. Okay? But unlike a word like this, This is government. You know that this here is a suffix. This very word does not have what? Prefix. So the base is here. Your primary stress is always found in the base. Okay? It's always found in the base, not in the suffix or in the what? Prefix. Okay? Understand this very well. The base is very important. That is where you can locate your primary stress. Okay? There could be so many rules, but this is a very simple, easygoing rule that students can easily fall in and then they get the answer correctly and then go your way. You don't need to pay any attention to the prefixes. There are several prefixes in English. Okay? Take your time to understand what these prefixes are. Know what they are. Whenever you see them in any word, know that these are prefixes. They are the particles that come before the word base. Remove them from the base. Likewise, look for the suffixes that come after the word base. All of them plenty in English. If they are attached to a word and the word is made lengthy, okay, remove them. Okay, because a word is made lengthy, plenty, if there are several syllables there. Some of them, they are not important, the prefix and then the word suffix. Remove them and be left with the word base. Then you'll be able to identify where the primary stress can be located. Okay, now, after that, let's look at what to call unstressed. In English, there is only one sound that is unstressed, and that is this sound here. I want to just pay attention to this a little bit. This sound is technically called schwa. Okay, it's a technical name. They call it schwa. It is the only unstressed sound in English. All other sounds can be stressed. In other words, you have the tendency to raise your voice with all the other sounds, but with this one, your voice must drop. That means wherever this sound is located in English, your voice must primarily come down. For example, if you have a word that ends in OR, something like doctor, your voice must drop by the time you get to where? OR. But it rises when it gets to what? At the beginning there, doctor. That's why I say doctor. You can't say doctor, no, but doctor. Likewise, word that end in ER, for example, this is father. Your voice rises at the first syllable here and then drops at the second syllable here, father. Okay? If you have a word that ends in ION, for example, like when I gave before, okay, examination. Okay? Your voice drops by the time you get to what? ION. Okay? These are unstressed syllable where this technical sound called schwa can always be located. When you have something like AL, okay, something like this word, that word is no longer technical as we often think it is. It's not technical, but what? Technical. When you hear somebody saying technical, don't assume that the person is trying to sound pedantic somehow. No, that is the correct pronunciation. It's not technical, but what? Technical. What I'm trying to say here is that all the words that have these sounds called schwa that I'm bringing them out, they can never be stressed. It is not possible. You can never find them. So that's why you can't say technical. You can't say examination. You can't say my father, my brother, my mother. No, it is father, brother. Because at the end here, the sound, these unstressed sounds are located there. So they can never be what? Stressed. Your voice can never rise. Okay? So don't forget to identify the primary stress as demanded of you in your exam. Remove the prefix, remove the suffix, dwell on the word base. Your stress is always found in that base. Now, let's look at a few example questions here. There are about 4 questions. It says, show the primary stress in the following words. Okay, we've seen this is a word of how many syllables here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that is for the first one, monumental here. Second one here is preconceived. We have how many syllables here? 1, 2, 3. Then the third one here is development. How many syllables are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the last one, how many syllables are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. What is important in all of this is that only one syllable receives the stress. Only one syllable. You cannot have two syllables being stressed in a word. Only one receives the stress. Okay, and from what I have done, if you remove any one that has prefix and the suffix, you are left with the base. Then you identify your stress on that base. But if it has only prefixes, remove the prefix alone, look for the word stress there. If it has only suffixes, focus on the base, remove the suffix, and then locate the word, the stress in the base. For example, the first one here, this. If you look at it here, okay, this element underlined here is what? It's a suffix. Therefore, you cannot have the answer as this. This will be totally what? Wrong. Because this cannot be what? Stressed. Okay? So the stress will be on the second syllable here. On the third rather. Becomes monumental. Okay? If you look at the second one here, preconceived. Okay? Of course, you know here that this is a prefix. That is a suffix. So you are left with the base here to determine where the stress can be found. Okay? Therefore, the stress is found in the third syllable. That is where the stress can be found. Because it cannot be here and it cannot be here. Okay? Now, if you look at this one, this is development. Okay? Looking at this word too, this one here is a suffix. Therefore, you cannot have your stress there. Even if you have any option in the exam that looks like this. This cannot be the answer because it is a suffix. Okay? Therefore, the stress here is on the third syllable here. Oh, sorry, it's on the second syllable here. Then finally, we have this. Disorganized. This is a prefix. That is a suffix. So your base is somewhere here. Okay? Therefore, the answer becomes the second syllable here receives the word stress. Okay? So, students, take note of what we've done today. If you want to understand what is stress, how to attend to the question that borders on stress, don't forget that your voice rises and falls. It rises and falls. The point at which your voice rises is where the examiner is asking you to identify where the stress can be found. Don't forget, you could pronounce a word the way you think it is pronounced, but the stress may not be correct in the way you pronounce it. So it's a matter of learning to pronounce a word. Like I told you at the beginning of the study here, a good reference point to understanding how a particular word is articulated properly is a good dictionary, Oxford Dictionary. Okay, if you have any difficulty, consult your Oxford Dictionary. It will point to you where the stress is found. In English, the stress is found by raising the kind of dot up like this. Whatever goes up like this shows that the word is what? Stressed. But if the sign come down like this, it shows that the word is what? Unstressed. They are requiring to know where your voice rises. So if you look up any word in English, you see where this sign that goes up like this is located. It is at that instant that your voice rises. Okay? So there are some words that you may pronounce and it may not be correct in terms of the way it is stressed. But it's a matter of practice. Don't forget, okay? Take note that you can easily identify your stressed syllable when you remove the prefixes and then the suffixes. Dwell extensively on the base, because no matter how lengthy, no matter how long a word appears, that word is long because it has prefixes. It could be up to 2 or 3 prefixes, and then it has suffixes that may be up to about 2 or 3 or more. Then it has a base. So if you have plenty prefixes, plenty suffixes, and a base, it will make the word to be longer. But the confusion now is that because all of these ones are brought together, you are beginning to wonder, where can I locate the stress here? Simply remove the word prefix and remove the word suffix. You arrive at the word base. Dwell on that base. Pronounce it again. You will understand that the stress is located in one of the syllables within the base there. It's a very simple rule, okay? And take note of certain words, like I gave example here. The word democracy is one word. It doesn't have prefix. It doesn't have what? Suffix. So take note of how such words are pronounced by looking up some of them in the dictionary to know how they are pronounced, because some of them do not have their root in English. They came from either Latin or Greek or one of those languages. And so their etymology is not the same thing as that of the English language. Okay, so take note of such words so that you understand how their stress actually appears in exam. Okay, and don't forget what I meant by unstressed sounds here. This word, that technical word called schwa, it occurs in so many places in English, least expected places. Okay, it is responsible for some of the prefixes we have and the suffixes. But I just took my time to bring an example now. There are more than this anyway. Something like zim. Zim. Okay, it's a suffix. That technical word schwa is also found there. Okay, plenty examples. But what is important is that they are never stressed. They don't receive the stress. They are just there as what you might call distraction. Look for the base. Look for the root. That is where the primary stress is found. Okay, and some of these questions that I've treated here, about 4 of them, it shows you how your questions appear in the exam. Okay, take note of that. How you can remove the prefix, remove the suffix, and then arrive at the word base to locate the primary stress. I hope I've been able to pass this message across to you today. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I'll see you again in the next series. Thank you very much.